We start tonight with an update on the more than 50 wounded in Orlando.
Off the scene as well, but we're being told possibly up to 15 remaining in the club.
Up front, that's where they are.
Police respond to a call.
This is clearly an act of terror.
If we want to protect the quality of life for all Americans, women and children, gay and straight, Jews and Christians, and all people, then we need to tell the truth about radical Islam, and we need to do it now.
The Pulse shooting. Did the assumption of a hate crime cloud the real threat that inspired the attack? Stay with me as we unravel this case to help change the public's mind about Mateen's true motives and how it affects all Americans. Subscribe and join me every Tuesday for the real story behind the headlines. So you've all probably have heard the initial story behind the Pulse massacre, right? Closeted gay man whose sexual repression, mental illness, or religious extremism drove him to execute 49 people, injuring 53. The motive seemed clear, cut, and concise, even fitting the narrative of some like-minded folks like politician Dean Patrick calling this senseless tragedy an act of God. Mateen was gunned down at the scene by police, but was this the reason he decided to attack Pulse that fateful night? The FBI's investigation into Mateen's background quickly took a disturbing turn. This wasn't just about homophobia. The fingerprints of ISIS were starting to show up. FBI Chief Comey confirmed that Mateen had been under investigation not once, not twice, but 3 times for possible ties to radical Islamic terrorism. This attack wasn't just a tragedy for the LGBTQ+ community, it was a national security threat. Let's take a moment to really think about this. There are people in our communities who have fallen prey to dangerous ideologies, ideas that tell them to hate America and everything we stand for. These aren't just abstract ideas. They're motivating people to commit terrible acts of violence. Lone wolf attackers, acting independently without ties to organized groups, are difficult to identify and stop. They remain a serious threat, capable of mass violence and widespread fear. The seeds of Mateen's radicalization were sown online, but the figure who truly ignited his dark path was an American like him. A man named Anwar al-Awlaki, the chilling voice of American jihad. This charismatic preacher, once based right here in the US, became the poster boy for ISIS. Even though a US drone strike ended his life in Yemen, al-Awlaki's venomous ideology continues to spread like wildfire on the internet, continuing to twist minds, planting seeds of hate that threaten the very fabric of our nation. During the Pulse nightclub attack, Omar Mateen called 911 and told negotiators he was loyal to ISIS. He said he was angry about US airstrikes killing innocent people in the Middle East, specifically mentioning ISIS commander Abu Wahib. This shows that Mateen's attack wasn't just personal, but also driven by extremist beliefs. Over 300 cops responded to Pulse, but their actions have sparked outrage. 3 hours passed before Mateen was stopped, leaving victims to bleed and die inside. Was this a tactical failure or something more sinister? Did law enforcement deliberately delay their response? The community demands answers and accountability. Even though Orlando Police Department has stood by the fact that no officers were responsible for the deaths of any victims. The emotional scars from that night run deep, and questions still linger. The Orlando Strong movement is a testament to the human spirit's ability to heal and rebuild. But as Orlando honors the victims of Pulse with a memorial, we must not forget the chilling reality. The threat that fueled that attack still exists. Our hearts ache for the lives lost and forever changed at Pulse. We remember the victims, honor their memory, and stand in solidarity with the city of Orlando against hate and violence. Orlando Strong. Until next time, thanks for watching.